What's up, man? This your boy DJ Quest, man. Coming in, messing with y'all, man. Just giving up some, quick tutorials, man, on sampling in Studio One. Um, right here, I'm gonna going on. I'm just gonna start off, man, saying that I've been using Studio One, for the past yeah, let's say about 3 months now. I came from Ableton, I came from Machine, I came from Pro Tools, I came from Logic, and quite like right now, Studio One is pretty much murking everybody right now. So I'm gonna make a quick beat. So recently my homeboy, man, shout out to Miniel Mills, man, he put me on to Splice. I got a sample out here, man, and I'm just gonna show you how to correctly get this sample down. Now, if I'm working with a sample that does not have a tempo, the first thing you want to do is find the tempo. That's with any sample. That's with any DAW. So I dragged it in, and just for the sake of time, if you look right here, they already have the tempo of the sample inputted. So let's just hear the sample for a second. Stove sample. Whoa. I like that first part. I like that first part. However, we gonna go on and we gonna do the whole thing. So for the sake of time, let's just say that it was that we found the tempo was at 90. All right. So that'll leave us with 8 bars. So the one thing that you have to realize that as default, um, Studio One automatically does time stretching. So let's just put this back at 220 for a second, just so I can show you. So of course, with it being at the tempo of 220, your sample ain't gonna pan out right? So what I want to do is immediately I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna go to don't follow. Time stretch is what it's gonna be set to. So if you notice, it's stretched out to 120, but we know that it's not that. So if you was to play a sample, which is cool, they'll keep it at 8 bars. However, the tempo is changed, so it'll stretch it out to 8 bars. So um, it won't be accurate in a sense. It'll be accurate until a point to where if it works out, it works out, but not necessarily. So if I wanted to make this a 4 bar, right? But if you listen to the tempo, so if say for instance you didn't have the tempo and said don't follow, right, and you were to try to tempo this, right, it'll end up at 11, like over 11 bars. So one, two, so at 11 and 2.5 beats, and that's what you don't want. But like I said, when we set it to 90, we actually got it correct. So don't follow first. You find the tempo, right? That equals up to 9 bars, and then after that, you say time stretch, because now it's got the tempo down. It understands the tempo, the concept of the tempo that's at 90. So now it's gonna time stretch it correctly, right? So now I can put it at whatever I want to. See, I can slow it down. I can put it to 80 if I want to, 79, don't matter. And it'll go along with the tempo better. And now that makes it a little bit better. I'm gonna undo all this, and I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna show you some other things. So don't follow. I had it at 120 at one time, right? You remember that the bars is equals down to like what 11 bars after 11 bar and like two and a half or and it's pretty bad. So like I said, you don't want to do that. So because if I wanted to do 4 bars, right? If I was to try to cut at this 5, it's not gonna pan out right. Right. Say if I want to do half bar, do like I'm sorry, not half bar, but if I want to do 4 bars of the sample, now this with the loop on. See, they ain't panning out right. So like I said, you find the tempo first. Make sure this is on Don't Follow. You find the tempo first. Being that we already know that the tempo is 90, you input 90. Make sure this, like I said, is on Don't Follow. You equal out with the right amount of bars, of course, per the sample, right? Or you equal out in the same tempo or the correct tempo, the original tempo, and then you time stretch, right? So now I can speed it up how I want, right? So now if I wanted to actually make it a 4 bar now, duplicate that and make them repeat, right? I'm gonna do a little quick crossfade just to make sure that I don't have any pops. Do a quick crossfade, and then I'm gonna go on and merge both of the samples now that they go crossfaded. So too easy, right? And then like I said, I still could change because now it's still at time stretch, right? So now I could still change the tempo. Real time. It's real time stretching. Take notes, machine. I'm still waiting on that. Matter of fact, the whole Native Instruments community, machine users, is waiting for that one update. So please give it to us. All right. So anyway, speaking of machine, so now being that I got everything straight, everything is at its tempo. I'm gonna add machine, cause I still mess with your machine. I love y'all to death, man. But man, we need that update, man. You know, I gotta open up Studio One just to time stretch it. The way the way it's supposed to be time stretched. Or the way I like to be. Most producers time stretch like this. It's very easy. A lot of people love Logic because it was the same concept that they had with the time stretching to tempo. So yeah, man, please Machine, man. I love Machine, love the platform, man. But man, we gotta have that, man. Come on. So now we go ahead and add Machine. And I'm gonna show you another trick. So this gonna be I'm gonna start doing these in series. But I already have like my drums that I always use. And don't be afraid to find some drums or make some drums or make some kits. You know, I have a favorites kit, man. I have actually 2 particular favorites that I like. For this, I want to do like a trap soul vibe. So I got a trap soul kit. So let's see how that works out. So I'm gonna show you a little trick with Machine, man. Studio One, is probably like I think I ain't gonna say it's the best though, but in terms of integration with machine, I think that it's easier to use machine in Studio One. The configuration is straightforward. When as I'm doing this, there's only gonna be a couple of couple of things that I changed as far as the configurations on machine to get to get it up and running into Studio One the way that people would love. So the way I do it, so I'm gonna bring a machine here. So I got the drum kit that I want. Let me change this. Let me just check this out. Let's just try how to see it. Yeah, I like them. I like them drums better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight all the sounds. I know I ain't got nothing on these, but it's all good. All right. I'm gonna right click on group, MIDI, batch setup, sounds to MIDI notes. Right. And then I'm gonna click this little device right here, which is your configuration device, right? And I'm gonna change the MIDI. So for the output, I'm gonna go to MIDI. I'm gonna change it to the host. For the input, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, I was right. I'm just gonna turn off. I'm gonna leave the source default channels as all, but I'm gonna turn off the through because um you don't want to create a sonic loop. You don't want to create a MIDI loop. So and then once I do sounds, then I'm gonna do group. So for groups, only thing I'm gonna do is click active. I'm gonna change the root note to C3. Right? And once you do this like a couple of times, you get used to it. Unfortunately, this is another update I had. Whenever you change kits, all the configurations go right back. So if there was a way that we were able to have these quick fixes or not have to go to machine every time and do the configuration this way, that would be awesome. So Native Instruments, work it out, please. Anyway, so group, make this active, change the root node to C3, sound. Really, you ain't gonna do nothing with this. So you just leave it as it is. Okay, so once you finish with that, right, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's only one tab for group, and it's got no tab for output. So this your input, MIDI, active, root node to C3. All right, close that out. So in Studio One, being that your instrument output is machine, you go change the input to machine also. So now it's picking up the MIDI note. So now Studio One is fully controlling machine the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So now we go just make a quick loop. But I'm gonna show you how easy this is now. So I just make a loop real quick. I like a countdown, so click countdown, and I have my MIDI controller that has a transport has transport buttons that I MIDI'd up to Studio One. I'll show you in another video. So if y'all want this, leave me a comment. Anyway, so let's make a loop. Quantize that because I can quantize now. So that's some hi hats. All right. I'm just gonna make sure my hi hats. Sometimes I be kind of slipping on my hi hats. Make sure this just quick advice. Hi hats always use, especially when you're doing note repeat. Make sure you put it on either legato or one because yeah, sometimes your hi hats be too quick. It'll cross talk. So click that out. So now let's just try and see how that sounds real quick. I like that. I like that. I like that. Let's try it. All right. So now. And I'm just gonna keep adding it, but I'm gonna show you a little trick, man. I'm telling you, man, you gonna love me after this, right? So now, I do this. Just add a little high open hat to it real quick. All right. Just make sure those open hats are quantized. Wow. So now I'm gonna show you a quick trick, man. You gonna love me after this, right? Being that we have everything set up in Machine, we have everything set up in Studio One, right? Um, Pretty much Machine is at this point in slave mode, or um, as you say, well, MIDI slave mode in a sense. So what I'm gonna do, right? Being that already got the track set up perfectly, all I have to do now is right click, go to MIDI parts, explode pictures to tracks. So what it's gonna do is go duplicate the tracks, right? With the same, configuration as we already have in Machina. But it's gonna take all those tracks, being that those tracks was like drum tracks, or MIDI drums. They based it off of one note, right? So when I exploded, now I have my kicks, my hi-hats, open hats, and guess what? My snare. And I can pretty much go on and do them how I want to, right? So now I got them all in separate channels. So now if I wanted to go on and bounce them out as waves, right? Too easy. All I have to do is bounce. Bounce to tracks, right? Bounce to new tracks. And it's going to bounce all my MIDI notes into tracks. So now at this point, I can hide this. Now if I want to come back and add something else, or I want to do any customization or whatever the case may be. Cause I like to be in MIDI, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I want to just add like a ghost note, or, change the variation on the hi-hats a little bit, or whatever the case may be, just so it doesn't sound weak sauce. Um, I like to leave the MIDI information there, all right? But being that it's, silent, I can just hide these things now. I don't have to mute them. Like, you don't want to mute them. You just want to mute the actual information, or you want to mute the actual recording, but not the track. So I can just hide these. Wow. So now, and now I can mix properly. I can add stuff. I like to add hi hats and stuff to I like to add hi hats. Not add hi hats, but I like to put like a chorus or a flanger on the hi hats, man, to create that environment. You know, let me just go on them. I add a phaser. Like doing stuff like that. Add a phaser to this. Actually, I don't like the phaser on the hi hat, so I'm gonna remove that. And there you go, man. So that was a quick tutorial, man. Leave a comment if you want to see anything else, man. This your boy DJ Quest, man. Signing out. Peace.